Hello everybody, I have today 10 things how Americans are completely different. First, a little disclaimer, these are stereotypes and I'm feeding into them, but stereotypes don't exist for nothing. It is true in many cases that people of a certain country have certain things in common. And yes, not all Germans are the same and not all Americans are the same. I'm totally aware of that. I don't want to offend anyone or anything, but I do believe these are 10 things where Americans are different compared to Germans. Don't take it too serious. This video is made for entertainment purposes. Number 1, Facebook. Americans are very trusty in Facebook and they post everything. I have friends from Germany and from America on my Facebook and they handle Facebook completely different. While the Germans are very suspicious about Facebook and rarely post anything. Oftentimes don't even have a profile picture of themselves, rather a dog, a cat. Often even don't use their real name. Americans have no problem posting every day 40 pictures of their newborn, their dog, their cat. Many Americans also have their privacy settings on. Everybody can just see their pictures on public, like everybody. Like you don't even have to be friends of this person to see all the photos. Many Americans are not scared at all to use Facebook and have no issues posting private stuff for everyone and the world to see. Also, I know in Germany a lot of my friends don't have any Facebook at all, while my American friends, all of them have Facebook. Number 2, so I'm filming a lot on my other channel, on my German channel, Sissi die Auswanderin. If you understand German, you might want to hop over on that channel and check that out. I'm filming a lot out in public, I'm filming people, and not once did I have a situation where a person says,
"Hey, I don't want to be filmed."
Neither my friends nor on the street when I film random people. I can even hold my phone in their face, ask them funny questions, and they have no issue with that. My German friends, on the other hand, they're very suspicious about filming. None of them want to be filmed. I had a friend over 2 years ago and she was like,
"Please don't film me for YouTube. I don't like that."
They are much more careful and they don't like to be filmed. Number 3, in my opinion, Americans are nicer. Just nice, they greet you. I live in my community here, I take a walk, everybody greets me. It doesn't matter if I know this person, if I've ever seen this person in my life before. Everybody is very friendly and I love that. I love that so much. Well, I'm from Berlin. We tend to be not that nice. So I'm very used to grumpy people all the time, but I do have to say, probably if you visit small towns in Germany, they will be very friendly to you too. And overall, many Germans love Americans, so they will welcome you and be nice to you. But I have made overall the experience that Germans are not that nice and Americans, I feel like they're much nicer. I live here now since 15 years and people are just so friendly and I love it. People in America like to do small talk and that is something that Germans are usually not very comfortable with. They don't like to talk about things with a stranger. This is not their thing. They're very closed in and they talk to their friends and they're very honest, but they don't really like to talk to strangers. Number 4, patriotism is something that we in Germany, because of our difficult historic events, are not really allowed to do, and this is something that Americans really love to do. They love their country. They have no difficulty just to shout out, "I love my country, I love the USA." And this is, like I said, more of an issue in Germany. You cannot really be proud because of what has happened, and Germans usually cannot say out loud, "I love my country," because immediately people think
You're a Nazi.
and so it is kind of difficult in Germany to do anything like that, to be proud. Germans have no issue being proud of certain products made in Germany, but never just unconditionally for their country. It is always about like the car or the beer, but not just the country itself. Yeah, the unconditional love of the country, Americans are much better with that. And number 5, even though Americans love their country, they're also very open, welcoming other countries and cultures. We even celebrate here in the US St. Patrick's Day from the Irish immigrants. Or Cinco de Mayo comes from Mexico and we celebrate it. Or Mardi Gras from the French immigrants. Or our German Oktoberfest. So I really like that Americans are not just patriotic, love their own country, and really welcome other countries and cultures. Number 6, I find Americans give much more donations all the time to all kinds of causes. If it's at the cash register, some organization, Americans all the time donate a lot of money. Number 7, Americans like it sweet, super sweet. It's so crazy. For me as a German, I love baking goods, I love cakes and pastries and all that. However, American cake for me is so sweet. They just use more sugar in their cakes. For many Germans, when they try the first time a cake in the US, they're overwhelmed with the sweetness because there's so much sugar in it. Number 8, okay, please don't be offended if I say that, and maybe you're a great cook. From my 15 years of experience, many Americans don't really know how to cook a homemade meal. Even if they cook the strangest things, out of my opinion, where they just put lots of processed foods out of a can into a casserole or whatever and make a casserole out of it. I have seen YouTube channels about cooking. I couldn't believe what I saw. There's definitely a heavy use of cans. The cheese is already shredded, and if you read the ingredients of shredded cheese, there's already so much in there that shouldn't be in there. And I'm not saying I'm the best cook or anything, but I still know how to cook myself and how to cut the vegetable myself and not just use processed food. And it is a little bit ironic that Americans, many of them, have amazing kitchens, large kitchens, maybe 2 stoves. But like I said, maybe I'm completely wrong. Please don't be offended. If you're a good cook, let me know. And number 9, I have met many Americans that literally don't have a passport, and I couldn't believe it, but I always say I can kind of understand. The US is so big. You can literally travel your whole life and still find areas that you have never seen, so you don't need a passport to travel. I do believe though that times are changing, and the next generation now, younger people, they like to travel. It's a whole new world. So the new generation now probably has passports, but like my age and older, there is a large number of Americans that don't own a passport. And that is definitely completely different in Germany, but Germany is so much smaller, so you do need a passport to travel. So it is pretty standard for most Germans to own a passport. And number 10, most Americans I have met do not speak another language. And since my son grew only up in the US, he was 1 when we moved here, I can kind of see why. In the US, we start with a foreign language way too late, like in middle school, while in Germany, we usually start already in elementary school. Many Americans have only 2, maybe 3 or 4 years of a foreign language, and that really isn't enough to speak fluently another language. I have had in Germany 9 years of school English, and that is really a time you need to be able to really talk in another language. I've also had 6 years French. It really takes a lot of years. If the US wants to improve on that, learning other languages, they need the kids to start much earlier with that. that. But let's admit it, English is really the language around the world that everybody speaks. So I do understand why there is no really need to learn another language if you're already fluent in your own language in English. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found this interesting. I'm planning on a couple more of videos like this, so if you're interested, stay tuned. Stay healthy, everybody. See you in my next video. Bye bye.